So, good morning, boot campers. So the title for this post is going to be how to shoulder press and do shoulder raises and like that, but I'm going to go into a little bit more depth because one of the main reasons that we're looking to work our shoulders is to do with our posture and that dreaded desk hunch. Now, if you know me, which I'd hope you do, because it's a bit weird if you're watching this if you don't. I do have a really nice curvature of the upper spine caused by too much time on the laptop, possibly desperate attempts to focus on my push-ups, but everything that encourages you to lean forwards. Yeah, so I'm always working on trying to draw my shoulders back and down. So what I'm actually going to examine today, sounds very professional. What I'm going to go over today is some of the stretches that will help address the postural issues, then going into some shoulder exercises which will actually help strengthen this area and help hold everything in place and help with your general shoulder health. It's often very frustrating for ladies, so when you come to start doing some exercise and you realise that even supporting your body weight is just really hard work, because generally we've got weak shoulders because we haven't been using them, but we also end up with sometimes tight or weak. You've got your rhomboids, your traps and everything like that. So it's muscle engagement, and just generally muscle awareness in those areas, because there is loads of muscles in your shoulders. You've got all the big acting muscles, you've got your lats and your pecs and your traps and all that massive big muscles, and then you've got lots of tiny muscles in your rotator cuff and going all over your shoulder blades, so the muscles of the joint and the muscles of the shoulder girdle. So I'm not going to witter much more because that was really quite a lot, but the reason I am holding this is because this is one thing that I have found that helps a lot. So if I know I'm sitting down at the computer for a while, I put this beastie on, I call it the strap, so you link it up and it goes round, and it's a bit like wearing, I feel like I'm wearing a gun holster, so you know, it helps with good posture, but it helps draw your shoulders back and down. Now, I just got that off Amazon. The other thing that you want to do on a daily basis is every time you're walking through a door, you want to be trying to get a chest stretch. So not just with that arm and elbow at shoulder height, but a little bit higher and a little bit lower, and having a little bit of external rotation so that you're turning away and trying to keep that shoulder locked and down. So yes, I'm just going to go into some of the mobilising exercises you can do. So another one of my favourites is that you're coming into that wall sit and then trying to keep the hands and the elbows on the wall and not letting that rib cage puff up. So you keep a neutral spine, so there will be a little space in the back, but you're trying to roll the hands up and down the wall. I've obviously got very annoying things in the way here, and draw the shoulders down. Another nice thing to do is actually lay on a long foam roller and pull those shoulders back. But also you can do it with a band. You can get a little bit of shoulder flossing going on. So that's what I'm just going to do here. So I'm just going to take the band up and over, and that is shoulder flossing. So it takes the shoulder joint through the full range of movement, and it's just quite pleasant. So another thing that we need to work on is external rotation. So by that, it simply means that when you're sitting, your shoulder is internally rotated. So you want to use and encourage that shoulder back and down. So you can do this with a band, you can do it with dumbbells, you can do it without. Yeah, so you want to try and get those elbows in as tight to your body as possible. As you can see, look, I've got a gap. Most people be together. And then you want to rotate those hands out. So I'm trying to externally rotate from the shoulder. So the shoulder is where the movement is coming from. So you can do it with a band. You can do it with a couple of light dumbbells. So again, you don't want to go really heavy because you want to concentrate on that movement. So you want to have soft knees, feet together. So I'm not using my body to help me. That's another reason why I've got the step there, because by being seated, you stop that sway back and using the rest of your body helping you. Okay, so let's just go through a couple of other extra stretches which are really nice for that back area. So using the step, you could also use your sofa. You want to flare those elbows out slightly and press your head down. So I'm extending through my shoulders, and then I'm going to put my hands together in prayer, take them to the back of my head, and then I come up. So I'm gently holding my core, pushing back with my hips. That's taking my shoulders out, and I can already feel it. And then I'm taking my hands back and forward. So this is a nice stretch to do on a Swiss ball. But again, it's just opening up those shoulders. Okay. So another way you can do this is you've got the thread through. So you're on your hands and knees. Then you want to take that arm all the way through, and you want your head to literally be looking through. So I've got a stretch in my shoulder because I'm pressing down with my weight. Then I'm going to take it open and up to the sky. So I thread through, press it down, and then I'm open and up to the sky. Now when I'm opening up, I want to feel that rotation is coming from my upper back, not my lower back. So I'm swapping arms here. I've got a big thread through. I look through, and then I follow that arm up to the sky. So as you can see, I've got less rotation capability on this side. And up. Good. So another one nice to do is any of these where you're down on the floor with your hips pressed into the floor. So you want to make sure your hips press in, your nunar presses in, and that back is in neutral spine with that tummy gently held. So you've got your Y, your T, and your I. Now there's no point in getting too fixated on different hands position, but just start thinking I'd like to externally rotate. So with the Y, I turn my palms face up, inhale to prepare, and exhale. I'm squeezing my glutes, but I'm mainly squeezing into my upper back and my shoulders. I inhale back down. Exhale, I'm up. I'm drawing my shoulders back and down. I can feel the stretch in my upper back, and I'm looking down. Good. So then coming for the T, that's just your arms coming out in a straight line from that shoulder. So inhale, then exhale, drawing them back. Good. If you've got any issues with your neck, you can always stay down and get the retraction here. Yeah. And then the last one is I. So this time I do want my hands turned in, but I'm just once again going to get a little bit external rotation with those thumbs. Inhale to prepare, exhale, and I'm squeezing and back down. So I tend to do the Y and the T more because I've got more action and effect in my shoulders and my upper back, so it's better for my posture. Okay, press through the hands, and then you've got your good old cat and cow. You can't beat it for loosening up that entire back. And if you want to hit the shoulder area more, that's the time you start thinking about the shoulder area more. So inhale, and as you exhale, I'm coming up into cat, pressing through the bottom of my spine. Then, because I want to think about it, I'm really pushing into my upper spine, my thoracic spine, tucking my chin to my chest, and push, 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 push. I'm then going to breathe in, breathe out, starting at the bottom of my spine again. Yeah, back, 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 back. Press my upper back down and lift my head up. Do you see what I mean by changing the focus? So inhale, exhale starts at the bottom. I'm pushing all the way up to my lumbar, and then and the top, and then my head comes down. Good. And then flip yourself over. We're going to do a black widow. Not really sure what it's called. This maybe it's something to do with how spiders live. Okay, but I'm on my back, neutral spine, gently blaze. So all neutral spine means is I've got a natural arch in my spine, but I'm not over arched with a massive gap. So I'm gently holding. I dig my elbows in, and I'm in that arrowhead formation. Yeah, so I dig my elbows in, brace my tummy, inhale, exhale, squeeze in with the tummy, and dig in with those elbows. Now my core is now on fire, but what I'm also doing is pressing into those elbows to lift my chest. So inhale back down, exhale, and again. So I'm keeping my head as still as possible with a little tuck. Look at the judder, man. And back down. So inhale, exhale again. Ooh, good judder. And back down. Okay, and then another good exercise when you're here is you come up into the glute bridge, squeeze the glutes, and I'm stretching up and over. So my right arm has gone up and over behind the left side of my head. Yeah, so you just come up and down. So yeah, it just opens up that upper spine. Ready for us to do the big one. Okay, now this is where I show myself up. Okay, so we're going up into tabletop. So dig through those hands, dig through the heels, lift the chest and squeeze the glutes. So you're aiming to get your glutes so high that you cannot see your knees. But you need to open up those shoulders. As you can see, mine are really tight. My hands are slightly turned out, squeezing my glutes, and I'm getting a mega chest stretch. And then I lower back down. So if you're proficient at that, which a lot of you will be, you can straighten your legs, dig through the heels and come up in a long reverse plank. But you don't want to see my crappy version. So I'm going to do one more. So inhale and open my chest. Exhale, squeeze my glutes. And I'm trying to externally rotate my shoulders. Up, up, up. And I'm back down. Oh, it's not that really tough. Okay, so that's like the main stretches gone through, but there are always more stretches because I try to add in a few different ones at the start and at the end of workouts. In fact, I tend to do more at the start because it gets you nice and mobilised. Okay, so now let's look at working those deltoids. So you've got your front, your middle and your rear deltoid. Now that's just your shoulder muscles, so you want them to be working really well and to protect that shoulder joint, but you also want to be able to engage and draw back the muscles of the upper back. So that's where your rows and everything come in. So we're going to do a separate video on the row, but we're going to hit our front, middle and a little bit of the back lats. Now I'm picking up my lovely light weights, yeah, because why wouldn't I? Okay, and then I'm going to sit myself down, and what you want to do is just get a good angle so you can see from the side. And we're going to do some dumbbell shoulder presses. Now I prefer to do them seated because I do tend to have a little swing when I stand, a little cheeky swing. So you want dumbbells just outside your shoulders, and when you do the press directly above, we're going to like this, you're also engaging your triceps. Yeah, we like that. Okay, so inhale. As I exhale, gently pull in the tummy to support the core. I'm up for the press and back down. So now, quite often in class, we are doing exercises where we're going from a squat to press. So you use the power of the legs to get that press up. When it's isolated like this and you're really concentrating on not letting that rib cage flare up, keeping that neutral spine, then I tend to find my shoulders burn out really quick. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so then another one to do while seated here. Yeah, again, I want to get a nice little bit of external rotation. So I'm going to turn my thumbs out. Again, keep that rib cage down. And I'm going to do some arm angels. So that actually feels quite nice for the first one. Yeah, so I'm getting external rotation, but I'm also getting into those front and middle deltoids. Yeah, so you can do another version which just stops here, and you want to stop and pause for a second at the top before you come back down. So as I've said, you can do all of these standing, but if you're standing, you want to make sure you've got a slight bend in the knees and that stays the same. So you don't increase the bend, it just stays where it is. Good. And then you've got my personal horror story, which is the front raise. Yeah, so shoulders locked and down. I've got my thumbs coming up top, and I'm just going to have a little cry to myself. Yeah. So, that's it. I was about to say good work, Mel. You know how rubbish I am at shoulders, which is why I have to do them. Good. So another little tag on, which I do like, yeah, is palms faced out. Give yourself an arm angel, then take the dumbbells together, elbows tight to the head, take it into your tricep, and then they're back out and down. So nice and slow and controlled, back out and down. So there's lots of variations on shoulder exercises, And we tend to use them a lot when we're in an upper plank on the floor. But you've just really got to think, which are the bits that I need to work? And it usually is that external rotation and taking it through the full range of movement. Okay, so I'm going to sit back down. Notice this one's actually not bad standing up. So sit back down. Oh, okay, I'm going to do a front raise, a front chest press like raise, yeah, into an overhead press, because this is a really good combo. So you want to press straight forward, have a little cry at the further extension, back in, and then press straight up. Okay, so forward, in, up, down. So you want to keep it nice and controlled. Oh, we're dropping to a lighter weights in a minute. So you've got 3, minor crying about to start. That's it, good. 2, that's it, and last 1. Oh, I have a little cry to myself, yeah. So that's really good. So squat that down. Now, another one that I do quite like, I'm just going to check I'm going to get my thumb positions right. So, I'm going to do a right-angled raise. So my left arm has got its palm face forward, and I'm following my thumbs. Yeah, so my thumb comes up and out to the side. Oh, it's nicer with the lighter weights. Yeah, so it's just a slight variation. So by varying your grips, you can emphasise and encourage different muscles to get engaged and working. And what we want to do is just make them all work together. Okay, so I'm just going to go over one more exercise because it just really brings home the need for that external rotation. So yes, you want to be sat, you can be on the floor, but this was just quite comfortable. Yeah, and you want to keep your chest lifted. Now I'm resting my elbow on the top of my knee. I'm just going to take my arm, internally rotating that shoulder, back up and through to external rotation. So you want to feel that shoulder rotating. Yeah. So again, I use a light weight, and shoulders are a good one to work with bands. But whenever you say people say bands, they then give an example of attaching it to something. And I really don't think a band attached to my banister is going to do much good. Okay, so just go the other way. So again, get that nice upright position. You want to be right in your sitting bones. Yeah, and you want to bring the arm internally and then externally. See this, I can feel, ooh, that external rotation. So you mustn't be worried about our shoulders. If any sharp shooting pains, drop the weight or stop the exercise completely. Because what we want to do is encourage oil to the joint and a full range of motion, not encourage any shoulder impingement or anything. Okay, so then when you're finished, you always want to stretch out. So the best one is that arm across the front, and the lower you go down the arm, the firmer the stretch will be. So to summarise, every time you go through a doorway, you want to be trying to get a chest stretch, because tight chests, again, pull those shoulders forwards. Yeah. You also want to be stretching into your traps and your neck with my favourite stretch that we always do at the start. And then before you're doing any exercise, you want to try and get out of any niggles or giggles by doing some of the muscle engagements. You've got your cat and cow, you've got your external rotations. So you just want to put your shoulders in line before you start doing something. So quite often that's why we do a halo when we've got the kettlebell, and it's just saying loosen up those shoulders, then you do your exercises, and you do try and always, if you're doing a whole body workout, they will be involved as soon as you've got any presses and stuff going on, but you do also want to be sneaking in a shoulder exercise as well, just to making sure that you're taking them to fatigue, because what you don't want is to be building up your chest and your back and not getting stronger shoulders at the same time. So then longer stretches come at the end. So we're not going to do any longer stretches today because it's all about mobilisation and getting into the actual shoulder exercises. So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, any questions, message me below. Otherwise, pick out a few of those exercises and then try and repeat them each day. And if you've been sat over at the computer or anything like that, think about stretching out. Yeah, none of it's sort of rocket science. It's just we need to put the shoulders back and down where they're supposed to be. Keep that rib cage down. Don't let it pop up. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me. And yeah, hopefully see you in Sweat Bootcamp soon. Take care. Bye.